So at Starbucks Coffee, when I had the privilege of being the Chief Security Officer for that organization, we reached deep into the organization for next generation talent. And what we found, to our great surprise and delight, were talents that were deeply embedded in our operational environment. So we were able to take those people out and train them in the all hazards risk skill set that were necessary to the corporation. But they fundamentally knew the coffee business. So we were able to go into places where you would not typically look for security or safety or risk personnel, and find the people that were actually operating stores, that were involved in supply chain, that were involved in other aspects of the company, and really took on the ownership of knowing what the culture was, of knowing the people that they serve, of knowing the mission of the corporation, and knowing what the value attributes were for all of the things that were required in that environment. So Dean Correa and Sean Detloff were two of our next generation leaders. I think that Sean, when we hired him, couldn't even rent a car on his own. But he was fundamentally identified as a very strong operational leader within the coffee store operations business. Similarly, Dean Correa. Dean tells a story when his vice president took him out into the parking lot and, as an admonition, pointed up to the Starbucks sign. He says, "Whose name is on that store?" And Dean says, "Well, that says Starbucks Coffee." And the vice president says to Dean, "Does that say Dean's Coffee Shop on it, or Correa's Coffee?" And he says, "No, it doesn't." He says, "Well, keep that in mind." And when I heard that story, I had to smile, because that's exactly who I wanted on my team. I wanted people who would put their name alongside the brand and sign off for the work, and understand that they had to ensure that that work was their own and that they were proud of it. And that is the way that risk practitioners and security practitioners and safety practitioners need to think about their work. They have to be aligned, they have to be curious, and they have to be passionate. And if we can put those people together cross-functionally, the sky's the limit.